The wind howled through the abandoned towers of Zarthus Station, an orbital mining platform long forgotten by all but those too lost to go anywhere else. Amid the shattered glass and rusted steel, a single figure stood at the edge of a fractured observation deck, gazing into the vast starfield beyond. Her name was Lysera, a Varelian woman, silver-skinned, with soft bioluminescent lines running along her arms and cheeks like fading starlight. Her eyes, once filled with wonder, now held only shadows. She took one trembling step closer to the edge. She had already shut down her ship's beacon. She hadn't eaten in 3 days. She had said her goodbyes, to herself, in a whisper no one heard. The galaxy had turned its back on her. Betrayed by her commander, banished from her clan, left wandering a universe that didn't care. Another step. Then, "Hey! Stop!" The voice was loud, human, and deeply out of place. Lysera turned, startled. A human male stood in the corridor's threshold, panting from the sprint. He was wearing a patchy mechanic's vest, grease on his face, and concern in his eyes. "I said stop," he repeated, gentler now. She blinked, her breath catching in her throat. "Leave me be." "I can't." He took a careful step closer, raising his hands like approaching a wounded animal. "Name's Jake. I'm, doing repairs on this junk heap. What's your name?" "It does not matter." "Well, does not matter. I don't want to find your body floating past my window tomorrow." He gave her a half-smile. "Come on. Let's talk instead." Her lip trembled. "Why do you care?" He hesitated, then walked to a nearby support beam and slowly sat against it, still within her line of sight. "Because you're breathing. Because you're not gone yet. And because I've been there too." Lysera narrowed her eyes. "You? A human?" He nodded solemnly. "War vet. Lost some folks. Thought I didn't matter anymore. Didn't know I still had a place in the galaxy." He glanced at her, voice low. "Someone reached out to me once. Pulled me back from the edge. I guess, now it's my turn." She stared at him, uncertain. Her body was tense, still standing by the shattered edge, but her eyes softened just enough to blink away the tears. Jake waited. He didn't pressure her. Just sat there, breathing, real, present. Minutes passed like hours. Then Lysera stepped back from the edge. Just once. Just one step. He exhaled slowly, visibly relieved. "Good. Now come with me. I have coffee. Or, whatever passes for coffee out here." Jake's little outpost was nothing special. Converted storage crates, cobbled together solar panels, a heater that hummed like a dying animal. But it was warm. There was a blanket. A cracked mug. And silence, the safe kind. Lysera sipped the drink cautiously. It was bitter, but real. And Jake didn't press. He talked about small things, fixing cables, arguing with droids, getting shocked by old power nodes. Somehow, that grounded her more than any therapy ever had. Eventually, she spoke. "My mate betrayed me. Gave my coordinates to the Purge fleet. They killed everyone. Left me alive, to watch." Jake didn't interrupt. "I floated alone for weeks. Then I came here. I thought it would be fitting to end on something already broken." Jake set his cup down gently. "You're not broken." She looked at him sharply. "How would you know?" "Because you didn't jump." That silenced her. He leaned back. "Pain doesn't mean you're worthless. It means you're feeling. Means you lived. And maybe you're meant to keep living." Something in her cracked. Lysera put the mug down and buried her face in her hands. And for the first time since her world burned, she wept. Not alone. Over the next few days, they worked in quiet tandem. She helped him fix comm towers, reprogram cleaning drones, and weld cracked hull plates. Her hands shook at first, but they steadied. One morning, she found an old paint sprayer and began marking faded walls with swirling patterns, art from her people, long forgotten. She didn't say anything when Jake saw it, just watched as he smiled and nodded, saying, "That's beautiful." Sometimes she sat alone, watching stars. But she always came back. A week passed. Then two. Lysera began laughing again. Soft at first, like a bird testing broken wings. Jake didn't push. But one evening, while eating reheated ration cubes, she looked at him and asked, "Why didn't you just walk away?" He looked up. "Because your life matters. Even if you don't see it yet." She nodded, silent, then touched the back of his hand. "I think I do now." One day, a shuttle approached the station, an automated transport checking for salvage. Jake could have hailed them. He could have gotten a ride back to Earth or any nearby port. But he didn't. Instead, he turned to Lysera as they watched the shuttle drift past from the window. "You want to leave?" She shook her head. "I want to build." Jake grinned. "Then let's rebuild this rust bucket. One bolt at a time." Months later, Zartha Station no longer looked abandoned. It wasn't much, but it was alive. The lights were brighter. Walls were painted in Varelian hues. There were hydroponic patches, a functioning medbay, and a comms signal broadcasting art, poems, and music, anonymous transmissions from the edge. Lysera's people would hear it. So would others who felt lost. And maybe, just maybe, it would help someone else step back from the edge. One night, under the glow of artificial stars, Lysera stood on that same observation deck. Jake joined her, holding 2 cups. "Still think you're broken?" he asked gently. She turned to him, her eyes glowing soft in the dim light. "No, I was never broken. I was wounded. And wounds, they heal." He offered her the cup. "To healing, then." She clinked hers to his. "And to humans who care too much." They sipped quietly. No more words were needed. Not tonight. Not anymore.